Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD Starcraft and I am coming back at you guys with the next set of games from the WCS that I promised that I would do. This is going to be, of course, the top games from the World Championship Series, and this is going to be another amazing set from Season 2. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, we've got the blue Zerg player. It is EG's Jaedong, and he is going to be on Newkirk Precinct. His opponent is going to be SK's MC, the red Protoss player. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we're going to have a good old-fashioned Protoss versus Zerg here for you guys. And once again, like I said before, I'm going to be casting the top sets. I've got a couple more games that I want to do from this season in particular, and then I'll be moving on. I hope you guys have enjoyed the game so far. I know I've been taking a little bit of break in between the games. I've been really busy, obviously, with a lot of things going on. In other news, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you guys read up on Team Liquid or any pro gaming news, you guys probably know about that news article that came out in a New York paper. I actually read the actual article on my desk while I was drinking coffee in the morning. Very interesting. It's about the EG Gaming House, which is obviously Jaedong is a part of, located here in Alameda in the Bay Area. That's actually like literally 2 minutes away from where I live. Very, very cool. I've been to some of the pro gaming houses around here before. Never been to the one in EG since they've relocated, but always good news to hear the pro gaming is continuing on. And anyways, let's just go right into this game here. These two players are titans in their own right. They've got titles, championships, belts, all that good stuff under their name, their reputations, their fan base, everything going for them. And these two now are going to be going head-to-head in a set of games. I'll be casting every single game, and I'm told this set is going to be pretty freaking awesome. So strap yourselves in for a good old-fashioned battle, Protoss versus Zerg style. And of course, Jaedong, the Tyrant, versus MC, the... God, I can't remember any of his nicknames right now. I think he was called the Was he called the Obama Toss? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this is going to be a good one, and I am very, very stoked here to be able to cast this for you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Excuse me for a second there. Mouse kind of goes crazy from time to time. But anyways, we do have a couple of Zerglings here making their way out into the middle of the field. We do have a third hatchery on the way for Jaedong. He is, of course, going to be going for the double expand, which is obviously one of the strategies that a Zerg has to be able to do, especially on a map this size. You want to be able to get those two hatcheries down and get into econ pumping mode right away. And of course, MC here has a probe, and he's going to be sniffing this hatchery out right away as well. He's already actually got the probe into the third hatchery. He will now know about its location, and from this, MC can now kind of contour his build and decide where he wants to go. He doesn't necessarily need to attack it, but MC has always been one of those players that loves early aggression. He's kind of in the early Protoss camp of, I'm going to try to win the game early on. And a lot of Protoss actually, you know, follow that type of strategy. It is very, very good. Early gateway pressure, taking out expansions of the Zerg player as quickly as you can. One of the new players that have kind of risen to fame using that type of strategy is, of course, Stardust, who is a Protoss player that's been able to take out Jaedong several times in a row, especially once in a DreamHack final, although Jaedong did eventually get his revenge. You know, it is the Protoss style. You know, you don't necessarily need to play to the late game. You can be aggressive early on, and it's very hard for, you know, other players to be able to stop early Protoss aggression. And so Jaedong is going to be really vigilant here with this Overlord. He wants to make sure he knows exactly what is going on inside the Protoss base. And right now it looks like MC is going to be throwing up a Stargate. So we are going to have a Stargate coming up here. Mothership Core also on the way. You can see the rally point set for that Nexus on its way over to the Zerg main base. So MC here is going to be going for an early Mothership Core. He wants to find out what's going on in the Zerg base. And he's going to be backing this up with a Stargate. Now, at the front door, there is a Zergling. Its carcass now blown to smithereens by the Zealot and the Stalker. Zergling is no match for that type of firepower. But now that the Mothership Core is out on the field, MC will be able to figure out what's going on at the Zerg main base. He was in the dark for a little bit, but this is one new thing that's really nice for Protoss players. In, you know, Heart of the Storm, they can use the Mothership Core to figure out what's going on. And there is an Oracle being produced back at home from the Stargate for MC. He is going to be going for an Oracle pressure build. And you don't see this very often against Zerg because Zergs are, you know, they have queens already. They're very good at defending against air units in general. typically because of that, you don't see Oracle play against Zerg. You see it more often against Terran. This is actually pretty interesting. And we'll see how effective this is going to be. Of course, MC won't be able to fly in there just yet. He's going to try to use his ground forces to distract Jaedong. And has a couple of Zerglings and a Zealot out here. And not a bad strategy here from MC, I think. What he's trying to do is bait all the Queens away from the main base, hoping to clear an opening so that his Oracle can fly in there and do some damage. And here comes the Oracle. Although Jaedong was not phased, he left a Queen back at home, and a Queen can actually absorb quite a bit of damage. It usually will drain the Oracle of all of its energy so that the Oracle really can't do too much drone damage, although maybe I spoke too soon because this Oracle is going to work right now, killing off 5 workers already, killing off 7 workers now, and this Queen finally is going to get rid of the Oracle, but not before 10 drones go down. Not a bad job at all from MC. Now all he's got to do is worry about his front door, and he does get the force field down right before that sentry was about to die. It looks like maybe MC there wasn't paying attention to his front door because of what he was doing over on the other side of the map, but then looked back just in time to save his front from caving in through to those Zerglings. And because of that, of course, now MC is looking very good, killing off 9 drones. So I changed that number. I did say 10, but it was in fact 9. But not a bad job by MC, flying in there, casting time warps, and mostly killing off a Queen and several drones, and really putting the hurt on Jaedong here to start the game. I don't think Jaedong was expecting to see an Oracle at this early stage of this matchup, but definitely caught him by surprise there. And now we're getting backed up with not Oracles but Void Rays. MC has upgraded to the next level of weaponry, and this time will Jaedong be able to deal with this? He doesn't really have any Spore Crawlers, although he does have a Hydralisk Den, but right now he is losing his Overlords. He's now under supply, and it looks like those Void Rays losing their Prismatic Beam, so they are going to pull away here and wait for that to go ahead and recharge. It does help them deal, obviously, with armored units. And at the front of the Protoss main base, Jaedong has a couple of Zerglings just kind of scurrying about. You know, he was planning, I think, to do something, some type of retaliation at the front, or maybe just prevent this Nexus from coming down. Unfortunately for him, MC has been very good about making sure he leaves a large army of sentries and zealots out here, and because of that, it's very hard to bust through a front door. You can't really bust through when there's a bunch of force fields ready to go. And, you know, MC is now using his defensive units to gain a foothold here on the 3rd Nexus. And now he's going to have another expansion coming up. Very nice job by MC. And he leaves his Zealot back at the corridor as well, so those Zerglings will not be able to run through. I must say, so far, an excellent game here from SKMC. And he's not really ahead of supply against Jaedong. He's actually down, but I really do feel like he's got, you know, Jaedong on the back foot. He's got momentum going for him, and Jaedong right here is going to be going for a Nidus Worm. That is really unexpected. I didn't think he would go for a Nidus Worm, but I think this hallucinated Phoenix might have sniffed it out. I'm going to go ahead and check MC's vision once again. He does actually time warp his forces out of the Hydralisk's firepower just in time before it goes down, and he did not see the Nidus Worm. So interestingly, we will have a Nidus coming up momentarily here, but I don't see any proxy overlords placed in such a position where MC's base is actually in danger. I'm looking around on the map right now, and I don't see any overlords around the red Protoss base, so not sure what the strategy here for Jaedong is, but I can't help but feel that Jaedong feels like he's falling behind right now, and he feels like oh, look at this, he's gonna be going for a Nidus outside the Nexus. That is interesting. I can't help feel that Jaedong feels like he's fallen behind because he's taken so much damage already, so he's just gonna try to do whatever he can to you know, get back in this game. And this is very risky, going for this Nidus. He's even brought Queens as well. What the hell is Jaedong planning to do? And why not just walk the Hydras? I'm not sure. I guess he's gonna have a quick reinforcement path here. He's gonna try to get his Hydras around these force fields, and will he be able to do it or not? The Photon Overcharge coming down on the Nexus as well. A lot of Queens coming out, dropping off their creep tumors, trying to allow these Hydras to get a little bit more speed. They already have muscular augments upgraded though, so they do have Hydra speed here, and now they're gonna focus this Nexus down. If the Nexus goes down, then so does the Photon overcharge, but there is a Colossus here, and it's just roasting these Hydras up, and I don't think Jaedong is going to have enough firepower, but it is going to be very, very close, and it looks like he is now going to go after these forces, not focusing the Nexus down anymore, and I don't think he's going to have enough in order to break down this army. That Colossus has got to have a ton of kills, actually only 12, which kind of surprises me, but still, it was instrumental for MC to be able to defend this Nexus. If MC had not had that Colossus there, I don't think he would have been able to defend. He also had the extended thermal lances running for him as well, so that was just an impeccable timing for MC to get those Colossus out. He keeps his Nexus alive, and Jaedong here really, I mean, he threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at that expansion, and he was not able to take it down. You can see his units lost now starting to skyrocket a little bit ahead of MC, which is never something you really want. That's one of the tabs you want to keep down. But Jaedong does have a 4th expansion, so he has 1 additional base over MC. That's good for Jaedong, but I can't help but feel that he really sacrificed a lot to try to take out MC's expansion, and it was not, you know, it was not successful whatsoever. Now MC can go ahead and move over here and take out this Nidus, and that is exactly what he's going to do. So that Nidus Worm does go down in a fit of fury and rage, and now I would like to see MC bring out an Observer as well. Get rid of these creep tumors, because you guys all know, you know, when creep is here, it always presents a bit of a threat to, you know, any army. You don't want to leave the creep just hanging around there. But it looks like MC here got bigger fish to fry. Gonna move into the middle of the map here and push away the Zerg army. And now MC, one thing he's got to be a little careful about is Jaedong's tech switch. He is going to be making a ton of mutas. 19 mutalisks, ladies and gentlemen, are on the way. Wow, that is not what I expected to see. 21 mutalisks, in fact. Jaedong really going to try to go for the tech switch here. Now, these Stalkers do have Blink and +1 weapons, so they are going to be fairly powerful here against this Protoss army. Excuse me, against these mutas, but at the same time, Jaedong's just going to have a raw number of mutas coming out momentarily. He does lose his hatchery, and now what is Jaedong's strategy? He looks like he's just going to fly around the Protoss army, but MC sees it. He knows that mutas are coming into his base, and so he basically teleports everything back home in order to defend against the mutas, and really nice timing from MC. I mean, you know, he saw those mutas coming. He actually picked off a few on the way, and just immediately teleported everything back home, knowing that, you know, a counterattack was imminent. And speaking of counterattacks, that War Prism trying to get something done, but does go down. And now these mutas from Jaedong, his signature unit, I don't think it's going to really be enough in order to be able to do anything here against MC. MC is just way too far ahead here. In terms of just having so many forces here, and he's now adding on Templars, and really, obviously, Templars are key in stopping Mutalisks once you can get Psionic Storm or even Archons on the field. Now, that's not to say Jaedong is, you know, out of this game. He's actually ahead in drones, and he's ahead in supply here, but the problem with Mutas is they're much better in the mid game. We're now approaching the late game stages of Protoss versus Zerg, and when you get to that situation, Muta Zergling is not very good. It actually just kind of melts to Templar Colossus, and unless Jaedong can make something happen with these Mutas and Zerglings fairly soon, before Storm really comes out or before Archons come out, I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do. And he's going to try to fly in here once again with this pack of Mutas. Look, really using, you know, clumping those Mutas up and doing a ton of damage. Look at how much damage these Glaive Worms do. He's going to go after the Citadel. Excuse me, the Twilight Council, the Citadel of Adun. You know, old memories. But he does take out the Twilight Council. And, you know, not a bad job from Jaedong. He's adding on a bunch of Spine Crawlers as well, knowing that this type of army, Muta Zergling, is not good enough to stop, you know, a late-game Protoss army. You will need Spine Crawlers to back yourself up. He's actually crawling up this expansion, the new one at the top left, and he's ninjing the one over here at this position as well. So Jaedong here is utilizing his mobile forces, giving himself map control, and trying to take over the map as a result. But I don't know if I agree with this, trying to go into these Stalkers and this Photon Overcharged Nexus. I think that's a bad idea. And Jaedong is just continuing to produce mutas. I mean, he has not given up here on the muta zergling style. And we'll see if this is going to be enough here to deal with this type of army. I mean, I'm just imagining the battle happening before my eyes. Storm, storm, storm. You know, then they recycle into Archons, Colossus, Laser, all the Zerglings down. It's going to be a pretty nasty battle, but Jaedong is going to fly into the main base here and try to distract the Protoss army, but MC is not going to be distracted at all. He is just going for it. He's now realizing, all right, my opponent is on Muta Zergling. All I have to do is attack before he gets a bunch of spine crawlers, and I am in business. Now, you can see that there are a lot of spine crawlers up here, but MC is just going to go for it before more crawlers come on the way, and he is just going to punch a way of a hole right through the crawlers and open up the door into the Zerg main base. Jaedong, meanwhile, says, okay, I can't fight that army head on, so I'm just going to go for a base race. He's actually depowered all the cannons here, and dodging storms very nicely is Jaedong, now taking out the Archons as well. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a good old-fashioned base race here, but I feel like in a base race scenario, usually, you know, an army like this, you know, is going to be a lot stronger than an army like this, and I feel like Jaedong's got to know that as well. And the only hope he's got right now is to just try to throw up 1,000,000 spine crawlers at one of his last remaining expansions and hope that that is going to be enough to hold off this type of army. He's also got to be careful. He can't afford to lose these mutalisks like that. He needs to clump them all up and keep them on the offensive. And yeah, that's what Jaedong's doing right now. I guess some of them just went a little bit off the course. And more photon cannons over here. Obviously, Jaedong looking to depower them so that he doesn't have to deal with the cannons. And of course, in the meantime, Jaedong continuing. Look at all these crawlers here. Now, of course, the Colossi can outrange those crawlers, but that's where the mutas come in. The mutas can fly back and snipe those Colossus out if Jaedong can pull them back in time. And it looks like now might be the time to do it. These crawlers by themselves, they're not going to be enough to hold off this type of army, and Jaedong knows it. Will he retreat with his mutas now, or will he stay on the offensive? This is a very interesting game. Look at the resources lost, 26,000 to 18,000 resources. The Zerg Jaedong has lost infinitely more than MC. But MC, really, both players have lost almost all of their bases. There's only 2 bases left on the map for the Zerg and 1 base left on the map for the Protoss. And here comes MC. He's going to go through the crawler wall. And Jaedong realizes now, I've got to pull back and defend. And I think Jaedong might actually have enough mutalisks to do this. This is absolutely incredible. Look at how many mutas he's got. He's got 47 mutalisks. I mean, how in the hell did Jaedong cook this game up? I don't know, but he's gonna fly in here and he's gonna go after all the Stalkers and Colossi, and MC doesn't have enough firepower here. Even though his Stalkers have +3 weapons, these mutas are 1-2, and there's just too many of them. But here comes the Archons and the Templar. Storms are coming down, and the mutas are trying to dodge the Psionic Storms, but will there be enough mutas left alive? It looks like there will be, and MC has to GG. Oh my god, what a sick game that was absolutely amazing. And I thought that last-ditch effort from MC might have been able to get the job done, but Jaedong just dodged those storms. He spread them out and avoided the Archons wherever possible, and he just had barely enough remaining in order to secure victory. I really thought this game was in MC's court. I thought he had the game going for him the entire way, but Jaedong proved me wrong. And, you know, going for the Muta Ling into the late game, one of the only ways, if not the only way that Muta Zergling is going to win in the late game is if you do a base trade, because you cannot fight that army head on. Jaedong realized that, and he played that to perfection. I mean, beautiful game by Jaedong. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to go on to game 2 here, and this is HD signing out.